going on, guys? First of all, thank you for 300 subscribers now on YouTube. I haven't even made a video in a month, and we've still hit 300 subscribers, so thank you so much for all of that. I haven't made a video recently in like the last month because I'm working on a project of mine, and I've also been working 2 jobs and trading and working on that project. But I am dropping one job after Thanksgiving in order to free up my weekend so I can focus on trading, making videos, and that project. I will make a video about that project. It's just been kind of a close kept secret, but I will be making a video about that, or maybe just like a teaser video to show you what's been going on and what project I am talking about. But enough of all that stuff. I'm going to jump right into a few stocks I'm looking at for this week, and maybe coming into next week also, because we have a short week and I'm not really sure what the market's going to do. Keep hitting all-time highs, and of course, if you've been trading at all this year, you know that the market is really rocky. But I have a few for you I'm going to show you that I'm going to be looking at. First one is going to be Facebook, or I guess now Meta Platforms Inc. Get down to a 6-month chart so you can see it a little bit better. So I have a bunch of different lines here, and I'm going to explain that here in just a second. So the bottom line is going to be our current trend line. So I always lay out trend lines, that way you can see, bullish and bearish trends. So for example, we were in a bearish trend, and now I believe we are in a bullish trend. We've been heading up for the last couple of weeks consistently. So I've got a bullish trend line drawn here across the previous lows. You can see here we have higher lows and higher highs. We're kind of running into some resistance here. We had just had a 3-day pullback and then a pop on Friday. But what we are bouncing off of right now is not only are we bouncing off the 9 EMA, we're bouncing off the 50 moving average. So if you know, if you've seen any of my past videos, I like to use the 50 moving average. If it is below the 50 moving average, I'm bearish. If it is above, I'm bullish. And I like to see when stocks break below or above the 50 MA to get long or get short. As you can see here in the past, when Facebook broke below the 50 moving average, it continued to the downtrend. And now we've broken above the 50 moving average, so that means we are bullish and we're riding right on it. So it's good support. Friday we broke average volume. RSI is headed up. I really think even if you got in early, like so much as Monday, depending on what the market is, our first target is 353 at the top of these wicks. But if we break above this candle here, above both the wicks, we could definitely take off all the way up to this last high. But obviously we're not going to go straight up. And depending on how far out you buy your options or whatever you like to trade, my second target will be around 361. And my third target will be around 372, and then my last target will be at the top here. So what I like to do is, depend on obviously your risk, whether you buy one contract or multiple. Say I buy 10 calls on it, I'll trim at each target. So if I bought 10 calls on it, I'll probably sell 2 my first target, and I'll probably sell 2 or 3 more, and I'll just keep taking some off the top as I go and locking in profits. Second stock I have for you is First Solar. FSLR is our ticker symbol. Right now we are downtrending. We're below the 9, but we just came back above the 50. I don't think it's going to make a play tomorrow. It could, but I don't think it will. What I'm looking for is it to break out above this trend line right now. And one way to confirm that is once it breaks above the trend line, we need to be above the 9 MA, and maybe you can even wait for a crossover between the 9 moving average and the 21 moving average. But I also need the right here, the blue dots, the parabolic SAR, to go bullish, which means the dots will be under the candles instead of above. Right now the parabolic SAR is bearish because the dots are above the price. But it's one I'm watching out for. Not in a hurry to jump into the trade at all, just one that I'm looking for the setup and waiting for it to break above this trend line, like I said, and head the other direction. Cleveland Cliffs is another one. I trade this stock quite often, off and on. I like it because I can buy a lot of contracts on it for super cheap, and even if it moves 50 cents, you can make a decent amount of money on. We broke below the 50 moving average, but it looks like here we're kind of breaking above it. So I really like these like slingshot style trades, is when the stock breaks under the 50 moving average, and then within the next couple of days, 3 to 4 days, it breaks back above it. And if you look back here in the past, when Cleveland Cliffs broke below the 50 moving average, it's probably earnings is probably what caused it to hook back up. But when it hooked back up past the 50 moving average within a few days, it took off, and it's something that kind of doesn't. It's not a go-to trade of mine, but it's something that I look out for. But you can also see my trend line here. We've kind of got like this triangle pattern I'm looking at. I'm looking to break out of this triangle, which are kind of right there right now. The 9 and the 20 need to start heading up in the direction and looking to cross each other. And right now we're getting some volume. Volume's going in the right direction. Our RSI is hooking under 10 and coming back above, which is also a good sign. So everything looks good. It's just kind of mixed right now. So we definitely need some confirmation that's going to go on the to the upside. If you're aggressive, you can go ahead and get into it once it breaks above and confirms another green candle. But if you want to wait, you can wait for it to go up and maybe pull back and see where it builds support and then enter the trade, or even wait for the 9 and the 20 to cross back over, so the orange line to be over top of the blue line to make it easy. Next one I have for you is CarMax KMX. Whoa, too far. Same type of pattern, but right here I've drew this line as basically support resistance line from the previous highs. We kind of came down below it, but we've been going down for like a week straight, and now everything looks like it's trying to turn around. The 9 is still over the 20, so we're looking for a bounce off the 20 and a break out of this trend line to get into this trade. This is probably my least favorite of the ones I'm going to show you, but it is a decent little setup to watch out for. You can also wait for the parabolic to switch back underneath the stock. But if it breaks below this support line right here I have on the bottom and it heads back down, I would stay away from it, because we're probably going to come down at least back and touch the 50 moving average. Nike is the next one. I've got Nike, and then I've got one more for you. One thing I kind of dislike about E-Trade is every time a lot of platforms you can put it into space, the chart to the right, but E-Trade you can't, so you have to constantly drag your stock over. I kind of like my chart in the middle of my screen so I can get a better idea of what's going on. Right now we're bouncing off the 9, we're curling back up. We have this resistance here at 179, but if we can break 179, we're definitely going to rock and roll a lot higher. Parabolic SAR just went bullish, as I was talking about earlier, so you can see how when it's bearish the lines are on top, and when it flips to the bottom it is bullish. But you do want to have like 1 or 2 days confirming that, because I have definitely seen it. You'll get one bullish parabolic SAR and then it'll go right back to bearish and continue down, so watch out for that. But it does look strong. We're bouncing off the 20, and the 9 is curling up. So the volume is good, RSI is good, so definitely keep an eye out on Nike. And don't forget to look at your options, open interest. That can really help you determine whether you want to enter a trade or not, and I can make a video about that if you would like in the future. But I definitely look at open interest and volume on my options contracts to get a better idea of what people are buying and selling. You can kind of compare calls and puts with each other. Last one I have for you is PLUG, plug. It hasn't been doing a whole lot the last couple weeks, just kind of going sideways. but so this sideways action is just consolidating. So what we'll do is we'll select our line tool. The top of these wicks is what I'm looking to watch the price to break out above. The 9 is curling up or bouncing off. We got heavy volume on Friday. RSI headed up. There's a good chance that we can break above this line within the next couple of days, especially tomorrow. I don't know what the futures are at the moment. Plus, they always change around. But if we can break above this line, my first target is going to be this high here at 54. And then my second target will be about 65. So definitely a lot of potential for this one to run. So keep an eye on it. And that is all I have for you guys. Thanks again for coming back to my channel. And thank you again for 300 subscribers.